What up, everybody? It's Big G. It's been over a year since I've done my first Ecosphere video, and since then, a lot has changed. Vegetation has bloomed, some creatures have gone extinct, new creatures have been discovered, and some are even now breeding. While I was originally going to do a monthly update, hardly any change was present inside the jar in that amount of time. So instead, I decided to wait a whole year before making an update, but still keep a track of certain changes in my notebook. For those who didn't see my first Ecosphere video, I'll do a quick recap. This saltwater Ecosphere was created using a medium terrarium jar with a cylindrical glass frame and a strained cork top. The materials inside were found directly in the ocean, including seaweed, shells, saltwater, sand, and even small animals that hitched a ride on these materials. Throughout the course of just 3 months, it transformed from a partial barren sand dune to a rich underwater jungle. Filled with a great diversity of life, including a wide variety of plants, coquinia clams, and even small fish that hatched from tiny eggs that were attached to the algae. At the time, the population in this jar consisted of 4 fish, 7 clams, as well as several different kinds of microfauna that were yet to be identified. The jar works by gathering energy from light and heat, converting it biochemically with the carbon dioxide in the water. This enables the plants and algae to produce oxygen by photosynthesis, and the ecological processes within the jar provide nutrients and moisture for bacteria, algae, and other organisms to grow and reproduce without my help. So now, let's take a look and see what life still persists inside the jar. I hate to start the update on such sad news, but unfortunately, the fish and clams are no more. They lived for a fairly long time. The fish lasted for about 10 months, and the clams lasted a little over a year in the jar. Their size didn't change after 4 months. The fish likely came from the same clutch of eggs, so it's more than likely that the fish just simply had a short lifespan, possibly maybe a year or so at best, and with no way to breed with one another, they just simply lived out their lives till their time was up. I'm sad to see them go. Although I'm happy they lived a life without any stress or predators, I'm going to miss seeing them swimming around the jar. With the clams, on the other hand, there may still be some hope. While I was doing some research, I found that coquinia clams can have a lifespan of a few months to 2 years. However, they can only survive 3 days without moving water to filter their food. Yet inside the sealed jar, they survive for over a year. All this is thanks to the vast amount of plankton, and if I'm right, their larvae might still be alive inside the jar, but it'll take some time for them to grow to full size. So here's hoping. On a more positive note, one new animal was discovered on the glass of the jar. What I thought at first to be snail trails were actually tunnels formed by tiny worms. I believe these worms are a type of polychaete. These polychaetes, or bristleworms, spend most of their time in tunnels, feeding and gathering materials to expand them all across the glass. These worms were actually present after the first month of the Ecosphere's construction, and their population is still going strong. I've counted over 100 tunnels all around the glass. Other small worms can also be found inside the jar. Some are seen moving freely across the seaweed, while others like burrowing underneath the sand. I believe they feed on a mixture of bacteria, detritus, and algae, and I also found a bunch of them on the surface of the water, in what appears to be some form of a reproductive cycle, in which multiple individuals clump together to mate. There are plenty of organisms still present inside the jar. Unfortunately, a lot of them are too small for my camera to pick up, as this is the farthest my camera can actually zoom in. All of this is thanks to the seaweed, which provides both oxygen and food for various life forms. Each time the weed's numbers fluctuate, so does the population of organisms. When it increases, so too does the creature's numbers, keeping it a healthy and stable environment. Well, I guess that's all for now. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I can't wait to see what this is going to look like in 2 years. Maybe next time I could use a microscope to get a closer look at the water. Anyways, I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all later. See you guys.